Welcome back to another backtesting stream. Before I start, I have looked at the market for many times, many hours, and I think that I can now correctly predict where the market will go on the 5-minute chart. We're going to be backtesting today my strategy, and I guarantee that I will have at least a 90% win rate trading this. I've never traded this market. What is this? I have actually tried this. We're gonna go back further. I'm not gonna do this day. I am so confident in my strategy now that I want to say that I know exactly where it will go in this certain circumstance. I want to say that I can correctly predict exactly where the market will go. Never traded this market before. For reference. Here we go. I am so incredibly locked in. I know I'm going to be profitable. And I'm getting my first payout very soon. And I know for a fact, I know that for a fact, I know it for a fact that it is coming. I know for a fact it is coming. Anyway, here we go. I think this is New York time though. Yeah, so we need to go to 9:30 instead of 8:30. I need to go 9:30. All right, here we are. Market open. We go to the 5-minute chart. I guarantee I know where it will go. Here we go. Also, what is this? Oh, we pumped up. There's a new week opening gap right here. That's what this is. This does look enticing. 5-minute inverse. I'm not gonna take it, but if it goes, I think it'll go right here to this edge. It did go, but I didn't take it. Now, I think I can accurately predict the exact spot where this is going to push up. It's going to go down, and I think it will push up right there if we get some rejections. I don't think this is gonna hit. It did hit. You know what it's based off of? Equilibrium of the range right there. 5-minute gap. We have a clear area of resistance and support right there. Lines up with the 5-minute. Low volume node. Tons of 5-minute unfilled fair value gaps. We target the highest one. That's what that trade was based off of. Optimal trade entry would not be here though, it would be down here. Probably right there. As soon as it closed, and then I would probably put a 30-point stop loss right there. That's one. Write it down. Next day. Also, we are to clarify about Asia trading. I am going to be trading Asia session, but it's only if there's an A+ setup. Once the A+ setup is ruined, we're getting off the charts, okay? We're not going to be looking at Asia session doing all this. This is paper trading. This is all paper trading. These are all paper trades. You can see I went crazy here and did like 60 trades. Okay, that's why I'm up 20k almost, because I like risked like $50,000 right there. Asia opens right here. I wanted to take this trade. What was it on? 30-minute? 5-minute? Yes, it was. We have this bottom 5-minute fair value gap. I wanted to take this so badly, but it didn't line up with a low volume node. Didn't line up with it. Then I wanted to take this short. Based off this, because we went below this. This is a low. We have a high that matches with a low in a downtrend, obviously, and it matches up with this inverse 5-minute gap. And there was a low volume node. I wanted to take this. But I did not, because I was waiting for. I guess I should have taken it because this was the inverse 5-minute gap, but I did not take it because I was aiming for a 2-minute. There was a 2-minute on Trade-of-8. I can't do 2 minutes on here. I don't have it paid for. There's a 2-minute like right here, and the 50% was like right here somewhere, and I never got to it. I guess I should have seen that this inverse 5-minute. It hit this low, and it hit this 50%, and it respected it. Yeah, I should have taken that short. Just a little short. Would have been 50%, 30-point stop, 62-point trade. I guarantee I'll be profitable very, very soon if I follow my rules. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. Last couple months, I'm trying to figure out how to use the Fibonacci tool, because all I knew was how to do an inverse fair value gap after a liquidity sweep, and I knew I needed to understand it more. So I know I needed to just watch the market as it moves. Just stare at it and watch it move and see how it reacts to things. And after hundreds of hours, what I've learned, so not profitable, but what I've seen it do is that 5-minute time frame is the most reliable and best to get entries on. It's very, very reliable. The 1 minute, not so much. The 5-minute is almost always reliable. I'm sure you could literally just trade based off the lows and the lows and the highs and where they match up. I mean, like, look at this. A high comes right up to this low. You see always a lot on big moves down or up. Like, here's a move down. What do? When we go down, we retrace back up to this low. We do it. Is there a 5-minute gap there? There's a 5-minute gap right here. You can see we tapped it and stayed inside the 5-minute gap. You could have targeted this low. You would not have hit it because it didn't go all the way down, but it did move down. Let's see. We have this move up, push down. Here's a low right here. Bro, we didn't hit it actually, but we did come up to this 5-minute gap. Actually, we didn't. We did not actually come up to it, but you'll see. You will all see. What am I doing? Back testing. I'm pulling up the kick stream real quick. Seeing what we got going on over there. Absolutely nothing. We got nothing going on in the kick stream. It's to be expected though. All right. Here we are. Sorry. 5-minute time frame. Market open is right here. We come down. What do I see? Reversal. Reversal right here. This is a reversal. Let's move up. What do we want to do? We have these low, and we have this right there. There is no low volume node that necessarily lines up with it. Oh, never mind. Yes, there is. Is there a 5-minute fair value gap? There is one right here. It's kind of sketchy though. What we really want to see though is we want to see this support and this resistance right here. That's what we want to see because we know it will react off of that if it comes down far enough. Hold on. Got a text from my aunt. All right, sorry, we are back. Okay. So this is a great example. This is already a fantastic example. You can see we have this low right here. And we have a 5-minute gap right here. Does it line up with a low volume node? Kinda. What you would do though is you would have just done a short right here, 30-point stop. Actually, let's see if it. I don't. Let's see, because let's see if it does the full thing, Bob. Because usually I would have just targeted this low, but it's already filled in. So we'll see what happens. And that hit full TP, but it was a little bit of a sketchy trade, I'll be honest with you. That was a sketchy trade, especially because we closed above. Yeah, especially since we closed above, it was very, very sketchy. But this did line up with a fib level though, right at the green line. It closed beneath it. So that was a perfect. That's 2. Write it down. That's 2. Someone texted me. My grandma. My grandmother has texted thee. Telling you, bro. It's so simple. If you just don't overcomplicate it and you see the A+ trade, you enter it at a good position. You don't FOMO into it. Don't FOMO into it. You see the low. You see the 5-minute gap. You see it lines up with the fib level. You see that there's a low volume node, which there wasn't really that time. That was a bad low volume node, but you see it. Take the trade, bro. Take the trade, brother. There's a big one right here. I'm assuming that's this and this. Yes, indeed. Now, we do have these lows, and we have these lows. I suspect it's going to want to bounce off this right here. I suspect it might want this one, but if it doesn't, if it doesn't get a good close here, then we'll just wait till it comes down here. Let's see what happens. All right. So immediately we have a rejection right here. Immediately we have a rejection. Right at that, and you would target an unfilled. Boom, boom. Let's see if that hits. TP hit. Write it down. That's 3. That's 3 in a row. 3 in a row. I'm telling you that I know exactly where what will happen. I know exactly what will happen. Oh my gosh. Is it gonna do it on this one too? Where's the low? The low's right here. Where's the lowest 5-minute gap? We're gonna do this inverse instead. Oh my gosh. Touches the high perfectly. Does it fill this entire thing? 30-point stop. See it touch this low. Oh my gosh. 4. Look, I think it reacted off this lowest fair value gap too. Write it down, bro. There it is. Oh my goodness, bro. Should take a trade off any of these. 5-minute gap would be. I'll target that. I know exactly where it will go. Next day. That's 4. It's freaking 4, bro. We haven't even looked at the 4-hour or the 1-hour. No, we haven't done any of that. It's literally just analysis on the 5-minute chart. That's all it is, bro. All right. Here we are. I see a low. It's not valid though. Ooh, that kind of hit. That rhymed. I see these obvious lows that want to be taken out though. Boom. This is what we want to see. A low. We're seeing a lot of support in this area. We have a low volume node right there. Boom. Here's our reversal upwards. Here's our low, our higher high. Or lower high. It is a higher high, but it's fine. This is kind of weird. I think the only valid one is this most recent one though. So we're gonna use that one. Perfectly lines up with this. And there's a 5-minute gap right here. I 100% guarantee you it will react off that. 100% guarantee.
Here he comes.
Pause.
Here comes the Jew.
Pause. Pause. 100% guarantee it. All right. It just tapped it. Will it react? I don't know. Let's find out. If not, this will be pretty bad because I just said I guarantee it will. Now, technically, the unfilled fair value gap would be right there. Technically, that would be it. Let's see if that works. All right. So, as I thought, we came up here and we filled this little tiny fair value gap. Right there. Did I even put it right? It filled it and it missed it by 1 tick. So when it's like this, I think you need to probably size down. If the fair value gap is really, really tiny and really, really close, plus you can see this massive wick that is just, it decided to come wick out this other the other 5-minute unfilled fair value gap. It's more risky. But I was yet again correct that it did immediately react and fill the 5-minute gap though. But it did not hit our TP because it missed it by, I think, the smallest amount possible. How big is that area? Half a tick. I'm still counting that. Write it down. That's 5. We'll say 4 and 3/4. That's what we'll say. 4 and 3/4. What happened with this wick is my question. What caused this reaction right here at 1302? What do you know? What did I say? This wick right there. It's probably both of these wicks. Hit the thing immediately. Hit the wick, bounced up, which the unfair fair value gap would be right there. So you would have had 40 points and then it missed it this time too. Heavy downtrend. It missed it by 3 points. 3 points. So those are examples of some losing trades, which it didn't lose because the trade was bad. It lost because it was just unfortunate, and it did not fill it all the way both times, which is unfortunate. You might want to go break even. Once you look like it's about to do it, just go ahead and go get a break even or take some of your position out. Choice you can make. I personally would probably just go break even. By the way, guys, if you want to learn exactly what I know, make sure to hit the link in the description and buy my course. It's only like 4,000. That's pretty cheap. Okay, I'm telling you, that is extremely cheap, and you should definitely go buy it. If you made it 25 minutes in the video, then I know for a fact that you want to know what I know, which is even more reason. Oh, this is an A+ trade. Oh my goodness. A+ trade if I've ever seen one. Now the obvious lows are going to be like this one right here, but also right here. That's a pretty obvious low right there, because we already had this high, and you see that it reacted off of the boom and boom. I don't know. I should do know. That is a A+ trade. And we have a 5-minute fair value gap. It's too easy. It's way too easy. Stop with the bots in the kick chat, bruh. I'm not going to whatever this website is. How do I block you? Banned from my channel. Stop commenting this stuff. I do not want what you have to promote. Okay, that is a skinny fair value gap that I would not trust. Wouldn't trust that at all. We do know now that this is at the 50% right there. Oh, it's basically right there. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the 5-minute. Okay, we're dumping. We're dumping. We're dumping. Oh, this is already an A+ setup right here. I mean, I would take this immediately. We just swept London low right there, and we're going to have a 5-minute inverse. I would want a retracement though, probably. And we can say the retracement's probably gonna be like, a good point, like right there. Oh no. No retracement is a little whack. But this would be a good point in doing a fib thing right here. We have a high right here, and so this would be a good spot to long off of, especially because there's a 5-minute gap. If we get it, oh, we got it. Here's the long. We do this. We target a high, or we can just target 40 points. That's probably good enough. Ooh. Bam. Write it down. That is 5 3/4. 5 3/4. Just like that. Could we have targeted this high? Let's see. We could have. Could we have targeted our spot to short? You could have. And look what happens as soon as we touch our spot to short. First of all, we have rejection. Currently 12 a.m. We touch it to the tick. Touch it to the tick. These are stacked, so you want to target the bottom of the other one. 30-point stop loss. Took an L on that. Took an L on that. I think I know the reason too. I think the reason is because there isn't an obvious the reason is the low, the prominent low, or there's this one right here, right? And there's this one, and we didn't mark out this one. The reason this didn't work is because there's no 5-minute fair value gap that held. You can see right here that the skinny ones are not the best ones to use. So that was a mistake by me. But if we had used a larger one, the one that was up here, you'd see how price reacted to the wick, which lined up with a 5-minute fair value gap. That's always good. And can we get the rest of the low volume node stuff? If we would have shorted this 5-minute fair value gap, you can already see what happened. 30-point stop. unfilled 5-minute fair value gap straight to TP. If it's being weird, not going straight to TP like this, if it's coming up in your stop loss, you know you've had a bad entry. This model, it's immediate. It goes straight to take profit. It reacts exactly off this level, and it will go to take profit. Let's see if we could have targeted. These are stacked, so the next obvious one would be here, which lines up with these wicks and this low volume node. Let's see if it goes down that far. It did not. It did not go down that far. It did not, in fact, go down that far. I will say one thing about this day is when you have a massive pump like this and you pump past London high like this and have no reaction, like we pumped past it and we just kept pumping. Okay, when you have days like this, you want to be very, very careful on trading these days, because it most likely will just keep pumping up, and as soon as you try to take a long, it will reverse on you and go down. Even though it's been pumping up, you took the long, and so it's going to be like, hey, now we're going to short. Now we're going to go short. We're going to go very bearish, and we're going to stop him out, and then your stop loss will be, you'll be going long. Your stop loss will be right here, okay? It's going to hit your stop loss, then keep going higher. That is what's going to happen if you try to long on days like this. You probably shouldn't take shorts either, but this lined up with our strategy. A wick, 5-minute fair value gap, low volume node. Perfect entry when it lines up perfectly like this. This is an A++ setup. Lines up like this, it's perfect. Again, the other trade we took lost. We took an L, so that's 5. We're not counting this one yet because it already happened. So that's 5 3/4 and 1 L, and that's not 90%. Obviously, we don't have a large sample size, but the reason these did not work is because here we go. You see this right here? Very, 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 very skinny. 5-minute fair value gap. It's skinnier than that. That's fat compared to what it is. It's that big. That is probably like 3 points. It is in fact 3 points. Not very good. How many points is this bad boy? Probably like 8. It is exactly 8. Another thing, this actually isn't as bad as I thought. This is pretty good, actually. And we had some rejection too, which is what I'd want to see. But there was no obvious low volume node, okay? And you have to remember that price likes to go to the furthest 5-minute gap. And this just so happened. Like this is the furthest 5-minute gap right here. Well, it kind of closed above it. Actually, no, it's not. It's right there. That's the furthest. That's the furthest. But this one lines up with a wick and a low volume node, and you can see that we traded right directly to the unfilled 5-minute gap, filled it, continued higher. If you want to be risky, you can fade that. I mean, honestly, this probably wouldn't be a bad idea to start, because it seems like it always hits our TP and then shoots the opposite direction. So I guess what you could do is you could just do the opposite of what I do. Instead of shorting, target, make your TP, make your entry the bottom of the 5-minute gap, 30-point stop, and then just target like however high you want to target the next 5-minute gap, I guess, which would be like right here. So say it's like right there. I mean, you're making more money than me. Was a little bit of drawdown, not much. I guess you can do that. I prefer this because it just seems like it works, but I might switch to that. I don't know. Anyway, that's 5 3/4 and One loss. One singular loss. All right, next day. What time is it? We're ending this stream at 10. Maybe 9:45, maybe 9:30. We'll see. Depends on how tired I am. Speaking of, gotta take the melatonin. Let me ask y'all something. Why do they make these things so good, bro? Like, it genuinely tastes like candy, and I would eat it as a snack. Like, bro, these things taste so good, bro. Side topic. Sorry. Market is open. We have a very prominent high right here. Let's check the 4 hour on this chart. We just inverse this 4 hour. Looks like we're wanting to continue upwards. We're just gonna play it on how it happens. We're just gonna play it, base it on what happens in the market. We have a pretty prominent low right here. The market seems to like that area. Do we have a 5-minute gap over here? Oh my gosh. Is there a low volume node? Y'all, this looks like a pretty A+ setup to me. We closed beneath the fib, the 50%. We swept this high. 30-point stop. I've actually never taken this trade when it is... Okay, we can't have this because it's negative, so we gotta be positive. At least 1-to-1. Is he gonna bang to the top or bang to the TP? I'm telling y'all that this is the easiest setup ever. Do we get a 1-minute IFEG? Bro, we got a 1-minute IFEG after taking out London High. I might as well just target. Once I saw the 1-minute IFEG, I'm immediately moving stop all the way to there. And I am probably going to be targeting like somewhere where a wick is. So like probably right there. I mean, there's no reason for it not to keep going down. Just because now we have these lows, it might go up a little bit and then it's gonna come all the way down. It might even come down all the way to here. We shall see. All right. Again, guys, this is the easiest thing ever, bro. And look at the RR. The RR is so small. The RR is so small. Once it takes out this low, it might, well, I don't even think it will, to be honest with you. We got this low right here, lines up perfectly with a 5-minute gap. They are stacked. That might be a little bit of an issue, but it lines up perfectly with this low and this low volume node. We might just go all the way down to our target down there. I don't know yet. I don't think so. We just inverse that. I don't even see this. This would be the more reasonable target to go for. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Oh my goodness. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Guys. Are y'all not seeing what I'm seeing right now? We just shorted that from the very top of the move. Just using the setup. The model. This isn't, and look, these are all stacked. These aren't even, it's gonna go all the way down to here. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. That's a 35-hour trade. Are you kidding me? Now this was back tested, so of course we can move all our stuff and we can analyze it, and we have no risk to just keep extending the stop loss. Okay. I mean, this move right here, if we didn't take profit, this 50-point move would have definitely scared me. It would have definitely scared me, especially because it's back at our TP. But I mean, we should move up now. We should move up. Oh my goodness, look at this. I just know exactly where it's gonna go. Like I said, here's the bottom of the unfilled fair value gap. That's the bottom right there. You target the next unfilled fair value gap, 5-minute fair value gap. I mean, that's a little bit of a sketchy one. You could have targeted, here it is. That's 50 points right there. It's freaking 50 points. And there's no, it went past this low. So you know for a fact it's either going to go here or here. It's probably going to react off that though. Yeah, it's probably going to react to this since there's a 5-minute gap right here. I'm thinking it's not going to hit that. What did I say? Low volume node. Here's a low. Here's a 5-minute gap. Right there, react directly off of this low right here. Another move you could have done. You could have just targeted the unfilled 5-minute gap right there, 30-point stop. Which would have been, well, you want to target a low, so right here, since that's the unfilled fair value gap. Oh, not that low. Not that low. Just put out the wick. That's a 68-point move right there. I know exactly where it will go. I know where it's going to go. Next. That's something. That's like, we're counting 3 trades in that. I just predicted exactly where everything would go. That's not proof. I don't know what it is. In fact, we're going to do one more day and then we're going to get off. My ego is pretty high right now, so I gotta lower that. I gotta lower it, so we're gonna get off. And I want to have confidence for tomorrow. No over trading. If you just wait for a wick and a 5-minute gap in a low volume node, it's like the easiest trade ever. You just put the buy and it goes straight to it. We've only had like 1 loss. That was realistic. Come on now. Come on now. All right. So immediately we have a reversal right here, right? We're moving down. We get that reversal. And so you can kind of eye it where the low volume node is and the low right here. And you can see there's a low right there. Although that doesn't seem very optimal to me. I like to do the lowest low, the lowest high before it started moving up, which is, I'm gonna count it as right this low right here, this high right here. Then you wanna do the most recent lowest low, lower low, higher low. I don't know. It's just this one right here. then you can of course dial it in. We have this wick right here, and this is a level of support, and we have this right here, this level of support. We can look back at history. What had the most obvious level of support? It looks like this area up here had a lot of support, but so did this level right here. So really we're just going to take a trade based off this equilibrium, if it comes down to it, and we will see right now. And we'll have a 30-point stop as per usual. Oh, there's our entry. Look at that. 30-point stop. Unfilled 5-minute gap. Okay, this is a good example. There is not one here. So I am going to target. I don't know actually what to do in this situation. I've never had this happen. Okay, I'm going to target the top of this inverse one. Don't know if that'll work or not. See. Look at this. This is an L trade. L trade. Let me figure out why this lost. Let me figure out why this trade lost. My first intuition is that there's no 5-minute gap. We forgot to do the 5-minute gap. What do we need? What do we need? 5-minute gap. Okay, 1 5-minute gap. Not stacked. You can see there are 5-minute gaps right here, but they're not, but they're stacked on top of each other. Okay, right here and right here, they're right on top of each other. So in that situation, we would have to scale up, look for a bigger time frame, look for, so in this case, go to 15-minute, and look at that. There is a 15-minute gap right here. We need a wick. We need wicks of support. We have wicks of support right here. Wicks of support right there. Get rid of these. It already passed all these. It already passed that. It already passed that. 5-minute gap, or just higher time frame gap. It's not stacked. Okay, higher time frame gap. Wicks of support or resistance. Okay, low volume node. Okay, that's all we need. Fourth thing, you target an unfilled 5-minute gap. Or I think you should target whatever unfilled gap on whatever time frame your fair value gap that you used. Okay, what do we have here? Wick. Now I don't think this trade would work out since there is not an obvious low volume node. The low volume node is pointy, it's not in here, and we've already closed way low. So I do not think this trade will work, even if we risk here and we targeted this right here. I don't think this will work. Looks like it still worked. Okay, still worked. Still worked. Also, this is not correct. This should be all the way up here. So now we'll actually find out if it works. All right, it looks like it did not do that at the time. What about 5-minute? Let's see if it targeted a 5-minute unfilled gap. No, it did not. It did not. We don't have any unfilled 5-minute gaps. They're all filled. So honestly, the unfilled gap would be up here, but we have to be cautious though, right? We're in a downtrend, so we don't want to go past this wick right here, right? We don't want to go past this because it likes to react off of those. So yes, indeed, this would be the optimal TP since it is at the wick, and it lines up with this fair value gap. Okay. Since from the downtrend, what does a downtrend do? It goes boom, boom, and then you see how this wick right here. This is just what we're doing right here. It goes boom. Okay. And this is not low enough. This should react off of this and go like that. But we took an L to finish off the day, and we learned a lot. We learned that if they're stacked like this, well, hold on. Let me go back here. Usually if they're stacked, can you use the bottom one? I usually thought you could just use the bottom fair value gap instead of the top one, and it would work. and it looks like that did work. It did work. The only issue is, well, we do have kind of some Wix to support. Not really though, it's a little sketchy, and there's no low volume node. This is a sketchy trade. But there actually is an unfilled fair value gap right here. If we did right off the equilibrium 30-point stop, there is actually an unfilled fair value gap right there. Right there. It actually didn't go all the way, so I would probably be careful with that. Maybe put a little bit lower just to be safe. But again, this is what you want to see right here. You want to see it just go straight to take profit. That's what you want to see optimally. Anyway, this is a banger video. This is like one of my best videos ever, leaking the sauce. If you stayed then and you learned, or if you stayed and you had the patience, I know I'm really bad at teaching. But if you stayed and you saw all the sauce, this will soon, and give it a year or two, I will soon be charging people for me to tell them this. I will. I promise you I will. I guarantee that I will. If it's God's will, of course. Can't be going against that, because that's kind of more important, but I really want to. Fleshly desire is to. Anyway. Wow, that was some good water. That's gonna be all for this stream and all for this YouTube video. It is basically, it's 50 minutes long. Wow, it's such a banger video. Oh my goodness. Peace.